Another way to create shapes is to use what's called a NURBS planar. Now, NURBS planar basically trims away the surface to create whatever shape you want. So let's go ahead and draw a simple shape, and then we'll use NURBS planar. Now, the shapes that you use for planar have to be closed, so that's important. So I'm going to go into my top viewport here, and let's draw a closed shape. So I'm going to go into Create, Curve Tools. Let's go ahead and start drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw a simple heart. Now remember, in order to close the surface, I have to select Curves, Open, Close. And now I have a closed curve. So let's go ahead into our perspective view here. And let's say we wanted to turn this into a surface. Well, we can do that very easily using planar. So if I go into Surfaces and select Planar, this fills in and I get a planar surface. Now, in this case, the surface is showing up dark, but if I turn on two-sided lighting, I should be able to see it. Now, this surface is locked to this curve. So if I select my originating curve and go into my control vertices, you can see that I can alter or manipulate the underlying shape. Now, the one thing about this is that the curve does have to be flat. So if I select one of these CVs and I move it up, everything breaks. So you need to make sure that these are planar. Okay? And the other thing is that it does need to be closed. So if I go back into object mode, select this curve and do open close, again, that breaks. So as soon as I close this, that surface comes back. Now this surface is constructed very uniquely. Probably the easiest way to look at it is to select the surface, right-click above it, and select Hull. Now as you can see, this is actually a rectangular patch onto which this curve is projected. And then Maya only renders that stuff within the closed surface. So if I were to go into, say, control vertex here, you'll see that I have control vertices for this patch. And I can select these and start to manipulate them and actually change that surface. So I have a curve projected onto a rectangular surface, and that surface can be manipulated in 3D. So when we create planars, we need a couple of requirements. First off, the curve needs to be flat along one axis, and then it needs to be closed. And then when we create the planar, Maya automatically projects that curve onto a surface, and then we can actually manipulate the surface itself to change the shape of the object.